good afternoon, good evening, good whenever it is you're tuning in. Welcome to Ticket Price, the only show that asks the question that matters. Are these movies worth the ticket price? In other words, are they worth your time and money? Thank you for joining us. With you as always, I am Jake, co-host of the show, the voice, the face, the bod. I am just raw sexual magnetism. Sitting across the way, co-host extraordinaire, and the only man who thinks he's raw sexual magnetism. Tevis at Master Control. Tevis, how are you, sir?
I'm the high blood pressure of the show.
You are
I am the anxiety, the depression, the diabetes.
I'm Wilfred Brimley, and I'd like to talk to you for a few minutes about diabetes.
spoken like a true editor at IT Tech.
I am doing wonderful. How are you, sir?
Given that I'm just the performer and general idea guy, I'm doing great because I don't deal with the nuts and bolts of the show. It's amazing we're paid the same.
I've never smoked before, but damn, that whole pack of cigarettes I just had a little bit ago was fantastic.
Went down smooth.
Yeah, that and that whole pint of whiskey.
Kids, do not smoke.
Yes. No, I was kidding. I don't smoke. It's gross. Don't do it.
It's not as bad as chew.
Your clothes will smell.
That's true. We're not talking about tobacco use today.
We should be with what movie we're covering.
Oh, you're not wrong. I'm getting all excited and I'm bouncing and I'm getting pumped because we're talking about Lethal Weapon 2! Mel Gibson! Woo!
So at this point now, have we done more Mel Gibson movies or more Steven Spielberg movies?
That I don't know. I think Spielberg is still...
He's still leading the pack?
As far as that
It's
goes,
still
but we don't count directors.
It's still the Spielberg show?
Not on this episode.
It's turning into the Gibson show.
As it should.
We'll have to start a new episode called Jake and Mel.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, but there would be no one to be the counterpoint. When we do Sarah and Sly, you're good guy, I'm bad guy. You're pro Sly, I'm anti Sly. There's no anti Mel.
Maybe there might be for this episode. We don't know. It's up in the air.
You're just trying to get a rise out of me, and it will not happen. I am calm. Actually, I'm not calm. I'm very excited to talk about Mel Gibson. Yeah! So today, we are looking at the 1989 Lethal Weapon 2, written by Jeffrey Boehm, Shane Black, Warren Murphy. This is a rhetorical question. Don't answer yet. We'll pull the pin out at the end. 3 writers. And there's a curse with 3 writers.
Big curse.
When I looked this up, I got very nervous.
I didn't even know that.
I didn't either until I looked it up.
Yeah.
The curse is real. We know that. We know the curse is real. Lethal Weapon 2 has 3 writers. Ugh. Director Richard Donner, starring Mel Gibson, Danny Glover, and Joe Pesci. Made with an estimated budget of $28 million.
Man, that seems really low.
Doesn't it? Especially for the cast involved.
Exactly, yeah.
Well, you would think $28 million would just maybe cover Gibson, Glover, and Pesci.
But I guess Pesci really was an unknown, fairly unknown at this point.
In 89?
Yeah.
When was Goodfellas and all that?
90, I think 90.
Okay, man, for some reason, I always think of Pesci and Goodfellas and all the mobster movies Pesci tends to turn up in as being a lot older than they actually are.
Yeah, no, Joe Pesci was fairly unknown until this particular movie. Yeah, 1990, Goodfellas.
Oh, okay. Interesting. So he went from Lethal Weapon 2 to Goodfellas. Lethal Weapon 3's in there somewhere. And then Home Alone.
Well, he had that run of also like The Super, where he was the slumlord of these rundown apartments in New York, and he was forced to stay in them by the judge because he wouldn't fix anything. And then what was the other one he did? Oh, My Cousin Vinny.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about Vinny.
Yeah. But yeah, he had a couple of them that were just kind of back to back to back.
Yeah, he had a string going for.
He did. He was very much an unlikely leading man.
Was he ever a leading man? I guess in Super and
My Cousin
Vinny.
Yeah.
Fair enough, Mr. Pesci.
So, yeah, good for him.
But he's got such a strong acting presence,
Which
we'll get into with Leo. Now, worldwide gross, made with estimated 28 million. Worldwide gross, $227.8 million.
My God.
So, okay, made with an estimated 28 million. 27.8 million back. So close enough. If you were rounding, you don't have to round up that far to say that this movie profited $200 million.
No wonder we got 3 and 4.
That's a good day.
That is a good day.
I think all the executive producers on down, I think everybody was happy with that return.
Probably, yeah.
Awards, 1 win, 3 nominations. One of those nominations being an Oscar nomination for Best Effects, Sound Effects Editing, which again, we talk about this every single time it comes up. If your movie has cars, and more importantly, gunfire, you will probably be nominated for Best Sound Effects and Sound Editing.
So this was 89.
Correct.
So it would have been the 90 Oscars. Man, there would have been like Ghostbusters 2 could have been a good one, sound effects wise. Indiana Jones and Last Crusade. Even Batman, I think, probably could have been a good sound effect.
No.
You don't think so?
Batman 89 wasn't good anything.
Oh, yes, it was. It was fantastic.
It was fantastic at making its money back.
At making noise.
You know what? It did, in fact, make a lot of noise.
Yes, it did.
Oh. Most of it from Prince for some reason.
You didn't like the bat dance? Oh.
Do we have to revisit the episode? Because if you recall, I did not like the bat dance. Unless we're talking about the Bat-Tusi. Because I thought King Tut was going to get Batman and Robin. And then they Bat-Tusi'd their way out of there, man.
Let's move on to Lethal Weapon 2.
You want to talk about the Bat-Tusi?
No Bat-Tusi.
You know, all the 70-year-old Batman fans are just dying right now. They haven't heard Bat-Tusi in 55 years.
Some days you can't just dispose of a bomb.
Some days you can't get rid of a bomb. How dare you? Adam West Batman is iconic. It's more iconic than Blanky McSameface. Whatever his name is.
Ben Affleck?
No. 89 Batman.
Michael Keaton.
Blanky McSameface.
I'm sorry. I'll take Michael Keaton over Adam McShitstain all day long.
How dare you? Getting back on topic. I've got some notes here, but honestly, I think I'm going to save them for final thoughts time when we get into reviews and ratings. So, everyone wants a buddy cop movie to start with a car chase.
So you're just going to fly right over.
Oh, what's your history?
Our histories with this film.
I got distracted by the Bat-Tusi. King Tut hypnotized me and was pushing me farther along than I realized. That Pharaoh bastard.
Fucking Pharaoh piece of shit.
When do we get to see him in a DCEU? Or whatever they're calling themselves now? It would
probably improve a whole lot of things.
Oh, hey, Gunn, whatever your first name is.
James.
I wanted to say Sean, but that's his brother.
Peter.
Who?
Peter Gunn.
Who's Peter Gunn?
You don't remember Peter Gunn from the old TV show?
No. Next, you're going to talk about Billy Gunn or Bart Gunn.
The Smoking Guns!
Pew,
hell
pew.
Yeah!
We're so stupid. Nope. I'm calling it now. The next Batman movie with Robert Pattinson. Their dark, gritty, detective, noir-style Batmans needs King Tut. Doesn't need Hush. Doesn't need Court of Owls.
Nice.
Doesn't need Zaz. We need King Tut.
Yeah. Don't put the Joker in there. Just King Tut, one villain only.
You only need one villain when you got King Tut, baby.
Yes.
What is your history with Lethal Weapon 2?
Go ahead with your history.
God damn it. All right. Ooh, this is actually kind of difficult because there's the soda crack. I hate you. You couldn't have done that before we even had microphone trouble before we started.
I
You
know. I
couldn't
was
have.
focusing on the technical issues. I didn't have time to take a drink.
That's why you took up smoking.
No, it's
Lethal
awful
Weapon.
cloudy in here.
So Lethal Weapon 2, it's honestly like Lethal Weapon 1. They were played fairly regularly in the house growing up. But I couldn't tell you like, oh yeah, I saw it on this year, or, this is what I was doing. It was just always just kind of on sometimes, like and I may have watched 2 before I watched 1, if I'm being honest. Lethal Weapon 2 might have been the first Lethal Weapon I ever saw.
Okay.
But it's Mel, it's Lethal Weapon. We go way back. Way back.
Okay.
And I always remember enjoying this one. 1 and 2, I remember enjoying. I never recall from childhood mom or dad watching 3 or 4. And I never really wondered about it until as an adult or a teenager watching 3 and 4. And then I realized why no one in the house watched 3 or 4, but 1 and 2 were always on.
I do recall seeing 3 and 4, but that's neither here nor there. 1989 was a fantastic year for me going to the movies that summer. I got to see Batman in the theater.
That's your first Handy J in a popcorn bucket?
The guy next to me was really awkward. I don't know why. He
But
didn't make eye contact.
He had soft hands, though.
He did have soft hands, yeah. I think it was a lot of the butter, though. I got to watch Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade in the theater. I got to watch Ghostbusters 2 in the theater. And then I got to watch Lethal Weapon 2 in the theater.
I feel like if you could go back in time, you would go back to 1989 specifically.
I would. The summer of 89, man. Bryan Adams had the summer of 69. I had the summer of 89.
There you go.
It's fantastic.
So you're in the theater. It's 89. You are just living the highest moment your life would ever achieve.
Absolutely.
Tell us about Lethal Weapon 2 in the theater.
Man, when the Warner Brothers logo pops up and then that music starts to play, you know what I'm talking about?
Oh, yeah.
And then the Lethal Weapon 2 logo drops down and it's like, man, this is going to be fun.
It's not part of it, but it kind of is. I appreciate just the big, bold, obnoxious, in-your-face title cards that are Lethal Weapon.
Wow, absolutely. Yes.
You know how some movies, like, it'll be real quiet, and sometimes there isn't even, like, an official title card. It's just opening credits and, whatever, and it gets into the movie. Nah, son, Lethal Weapon is just bam!
And loud. It's like the THX. The audience is now deaf. That's the way I felt in 89. My hair was blown back in mullet style like Martin Riggs.
You mean the Ellen Ripley?
Yes. I looked over and my dad's mustache was all blown and gray. He looked like Roger Murtaugh.
That's still the meanest joke about Sigourney Weaver. That might be the meanest joke that we've ever done on the show.
We've had a lot of mullets on the show.
We've had a lot of movies from the 80s.
Yes.
Eventually, there won't be any more.
That'll be a sad day.
Then we can watch modern things that people actually care about.
Nah, those are overrated.
Really, a movie's quality can be quantified by the number of mullets it contains.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I'm not even going to lie. I went through the hat, and every time I see anything modern, I take it out and I throw it away.
Replace it with something from the 80s.
Yeah. I'm like, what's this Oppenheimer shit? Get that out of here.
Short Circuit.
Absolutely. Yes. Anything with Steve Guttenberg.
Fuck Steve Guttenberg. You Police Academy one-note jerk-off.
That's funny because there's Police Academy 1 in the hat, 2 in the hat, a 3 in the hat.
Keep going.
And that's it. No, the rest of them suck.
You didn't put 4, 5, 6,
7.
7.
Moscow, the Moscow one. I think there's like 9.
Are there really?
I think there is.
I know there's a ridiculous amount.
At one point, even Steven Guttenberg was like, this is too much, and they had to replace him with somebody else.
That's right. There is a point where it's just Police Academy, but there's no surviving or retained cast members from...
from the original.
No.
Of merit, anyway. What are we talking about?
Steve Guttenberg sucks. That's what we're talking about. Talking about people that you always alienate from the show. Fuck Steve Guttenberg.
Man, he's never going to be on the show.
Good.
I want to talk to him about 3 Men and a Baby.
No, I want to talk to Ted Danson or oh, now I'm just brain farting.
Oh, yeah, that's real good. I really want to talk about this guy. I don't know his name.
I'm having a brain fart. I want to talk about Ted Danson.
Tom
Selleck.
There you go.
I got there.
Yeah, no problem.
Actually, I want to talk to Ted Danson, Tom Selleck, just in general. But
that'd be a good conversation.
I hope.
But you don't know his name, so he won't come on the show now.
You know what? Yeah, I get it. But fuck Steve Guttenberg.
We're talking about
Lethal Weapon 2. And actually, we're talking about you being teleported back to 1989. So right now, the euphoria on your face. I wish everyone listening could see it. The euphoria.
The popcorn tasted better back then.
That's because you weren't worried it was clogging your heart back then.
That's true. I didn't have to worry about chewing so many pills.
First of all, that's why your pills aren't working. Don't chew them.
They taste like Skittles.
No, those are just the bowl of Skittles you have. Oh my God. Have you gotten your blood pressure mixed up with your Skittles again?
Why is my blood pressure so high?
I hope your doctor's listening.
Why is my diabetes out of control?
Oh. No, just Tevis. You know what? We need to make some kind of like thing. We're gonna make a thing. The words, I'm having trouble with my words today, like Selleck. If we reach a certain bar with the show, you need to just get 1989 tattooed on your body somewhere.
I already have that on my body.
Where?
On my body. If we hit a certain bar, I'll show everybody.
Wait. You're going to get us kicked off the internet.
There's a promise or a threat. You take it either way.
Well, we'll make sure the studio's nice and warm so it doesn't just look like 18.
Just one.
Ba, 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 ba. Wow.
All right, what are we talking about?
Lethal Weapon 2.
Lethal Weapon 2.
The 1989 buddy cop classic.
Is this Mel Gibson's best movie?
No. I feel like it's too early to talk about that, but the answer is no.
Okay.
But you made me change the format of the show, and then you're just going to drop how you feel about this movie in just a casual...
No, that's not how I feel. It was just a question. It was just a general question.
No.
Okay.
All right. Back to how I originally started so long ago when I was young, had hope. The best way to start a buddy cop action movie is with a car chase.
Okay, so the tone of Lethal Weapon, the original, is way darker than this one.
Absolutely.
I love the way they introduce this change of tone right away without even seeing a single person on screen. It's with the Looney Tunes theme song that kind of plays over the Warner Brothers logo.
Mm-hmm.
I just thought that was such an awesome way
just
to
a nice
start this
uplifting,
movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like they're like, this is going to be totally different, we're not going to start the movie off on a downer with
Amanda Hunsaker
diving headfirst out of a window. We're going to have, this movie's going to be fun.
Man, I didn't even think of it that way. Think about the opening of Lethal Weapon with Amanda committing suicide out of a window to Riggs and Murtaugh in Lethal Weapon 2 arguing about the car chase because they're driving Murtaugh's wife's new station wagon. And Riggs is like, yeah, God, I love this job. He's punching the ceiling and he's telling Murtaugh to gun it. And Murtaugh's like, I'm already doing 65. This is my wife's new car.
Yeah, it's awesome. It is the best way to start a movie.
And we'll get into it more. Not there yet. But the lighter tone not only works for the storytelling of this movie, but also it aids in the storytelling of how Riggs and Murtaugh, their relationship and their lives, because of their relationship, have evolved since the first movie.
I agree.
But I want to dive more into that, but I want to wait till the pen scene.
Oh, yes. Okay.
Because that's when we really get more of it, I guess. But
that's a very important scene.
Yes. So car chase going on. Riggs is less than enthusiastic about Murtaugh's safe, cautious driving.
I have never had as much fun at the beginning of a movie just watching these two go back and forth. Their chemistry is fantastic.
It's off the charts.
Not even through the entire movie, just this portion of it right here, this whole chase scene. Holy shit! I could just watch this and be done.
Just in a loop.
Yeah, they're so good. They're so funny. Like when Riggs jumps in the car and makes Riggs or Murtaugh scoot over, and there's like, "You're not going to make it. You're not going to make it." Oh,
Yep.
I'll be fine. I'll be
yes,
fine.
I am. Yes, I am. We can make that.
And then scrapes the entire driver's side on the bridge rail, and then Riggs is like, "Man, shit, you're right. I didn't have enough room. I wasn't going to make." And that look that Murtaugh gives him, like, "I fucking hate you, man. I hate you right now." Yeah, there you could tell in this opening scene that there is a lot of love these guys share, respect, just camaraderie, and just fun.
Oh, yeah.
Man, they have a blast together.
So, to give greater context, there is a dueling car chase going on. There are two suspect vehicles, one red, one blue. While the police are in pursuit of both, the vehicles end up separating. So then we have Riggs and Murtaugh leading the chase against one vehicle, and then the other police chasing the second vehicle. And after, again, the shenanigans, I feel like it's probably the most appropriate word for what happens. It's pretty shenanigan-y.
Shenanigan-y?
Shenanigan-y.
Is that a word?
It is now.
Okay. I love how we verbalize words.
I verbalize
words
verbal
into verbs.
Verbs. Wait, verbs. Loud noises. Running. Van Halen's jump. What are verbs?
We verbalize certain
farts.
Like, what was it we called the Zack Snydering of certain films? Yeah.
The Snyder effect.
Yeah. Snydering. Shenanigan-y. Yeah, there's a whole lot of shenanigan-y going on in the beginning of this movie.
Yes.
And it's like we see all the greatest hits. We get Riggs with him rolling and jumping and running up the hill after a car, and
Murtaugh complaining about old stuff.
Yeah, and Riggs shooting an entire clip into something.
That is the only way Riggs shoots, and right. I appreciate that. Like, at this point, it's one of his leading character traits, and they stay true to that.
He doesn't even care. Whole clip. That poor old lady didn't even see it coming.
Or the 15 people behind her.
Yeah. He didn't miss.
No. It was established in the first one, he doesn't miss.
Yeah. All 15 went right into her.
So you're saying he was gunning for that old
Yep.
lady?
Yep.
Or did he realize his aim was off with the first shot and then was like, in for a penny, in for a pound? No. Martin Riggs does not shoot an old woman in Lethal Weapon 2. Let's just be clear. So yeah, Riggs is on foot at one point giving chase. He jumps onto the hood of the suspect's car.
He gets quippy.
I would like to see your driver's license registration as he's then like thrown off the car and like rolls into the street.
Dodges machine gun fire.
This isn't the only movie that I'm noticing my thoughts and feelings with this. Maybe I'm just old and cynical, but there's too much quipping going on. I'm almost just I'm tired of the quips.
Yeah, but I don't think it was really overdone at this point.
Hey, everyone, there's Tevis's phone going. I watched you silence it.
I know. I don't
What
know.
were you doing?
I was silencing my phone.
But you obviously
But
didn't.
apparently it didn't silence. Oh, I got an Amazon notice that my item is shipped. Sweet. Let me put this on.
No one cares.
Sorry. Let me put this on silent.
You're so old.
Hang on. Sorry, I'm almost there.
I'm Gru and you're Dr. Nefario. You're just so old, but you're the genius of behind the show, so I rely on you for things.
Yeah, eyes are. There we go.
Oh my, yes. You know what? Yes. Complain about your eyes. How bad are they?
I got bifocals.
The old man glasses for old men, bifocals. You know you're an old man when you have to upgrade to the bifocals.
Yeah, I know. It sucks. I noticed it the other day when I had to hold something really far away from my face to read it. I was like, oh, God.
Was it one of those things you were trying to read it and then you just realized your arm's fully outstretched and you went, damn it.
Yeah. I had my kid grab my phone the other day and take it across the room so I could read a text.
Oh. Kid, I hope you didn't read that one.
Yeah. I refuse to enlarge the font.
The font.
No.
You know, sometimes when my mother comes to visit the grandkids, she'll be on her phone texting her husband or doing whatever. And I catch a glimpse, not because I'm creeping or I'm being nosy, but because her font is so big, only about half a word fits on the screen at any given time.
It's one letter. Just scroll up to read the whole thing.
Lots of scrolling.
I don't want to get there.
That's just me going, you can't not see it. Because
does she have to turn her phone sideways so she can read the whole word?
Probably.
Yeah.
It'd probably save her a lot of time if she
would.
did that, but then I'd have to teach her about, the screen switching and...
That's what your son is for.
Yeah, but I have an older brother who's more techie than I, so that's what he's for. I gave her grandkids, he can give her tech help.
That's a fair trade.
I think so.
Okay.
So...
where were we before my phone went off?
Shenanigans. Shenaniganians.
I don't know how I feel about that.
It sounds national.
It sounds something.
Those goddamn shenaniganians. So oh, shut up. She's just the worst. You can't keep anything going. The suspect car crashes because Riggs shoots it roughly 157 times. It crashes into a building. And they go to apprehend the suspect, but they're going to go on 3. They're going to leave the car and then leave their car and then surround the overturned suspect vehicle on 3 so he can't escape. 1, 2, 3. Riggs is off like a shot, and Murtaugh's still standing there going, "What? Oh shit!"
Because they go on 3.
Is it 3 or 3 go?
Yeah, always go on 3.
So it's 1, 2, go.
Right. No, it's always 3. It's 1, 2, 3, then go.
It's 1, 2, 3, go.
Yes.
Not 1, 2, go.
No.
But go on 3 makes it sound like you go on 3.
No, but
like
you go 1, 2, 3, and then go.
Right. We're saying
1,
the
2,
same.
3.
No, it's 1, 2, 3.
No, it's 1, 2, 3.
What does that mean? 1, 2, 3. That's nothing.
You're on the 3, so it's the 3 is in pain, and it's like
wait. What are you doing to 3 that's causing it pain?
Standing on it because you're going on it.
Well, stop sitting on the number 3 for a second. So it's 1, 2, 3, go. So it's not 1, 2, go. It's not 1, 2, 3, go. It's 1, 2, 3, go.
Right.
Got it.
Right. Okay. So we have it down now. So if we ever have to surround a car full of Krugerrands,
we don't know that yet,
and a gunman,
I'm definitely the Riggs in this relationship.
Oh, fuck yeah. Yeah.
What up, Raj? Now, Murtaugh shows up late. The driver is gone. And they're just going, well, God damn it, where was it? Go on 3. And they basically have the argument we just had. Then they hear a bump in the car and they're like, he's in the trunk. So they kick open the trunk and a perpetrator does not fall out, but lots and lots and lots of gold Krugerrands fall out.
I already said that.
Yeah, I know. Yes, I'm aware.
Sorry.
Can everyone tell I'm talking through my gritted teeth?
So what are Krugerrands?
Gold coins of South Africa.
Okay, cool.
Presumably based on this movie.
Yeah, I don't know. I've never heard of them.
I didn't look it
that.
up because
Never heard them before this or since this, honestly.
I've heard it since, but not frequently.
Yeah, last time I heard about it was the watching of Lethal Weapon 2 for this show.
The last time I heard about it, I'm not actually allowed to tell this story because it's still pending an investigation. But
okay,
let's just say,
were you in an overturned car?
I got mine
in an antique shop.
No,
with 2 gentlemen arguing about 1, 2, 3.
There was a lot of gunfire.
Okay,
that's neither here nor there.
Glad you avoided the drop cloth.
I won't even go into a room that has a drop cloth, and they're like, I'll see painters actively painting, and I still won't go in there. My wife will be like, honey, we got to repaint this bedroom. I'm like, uh-huh. Yeah, I bet.
You're not going to get me, woman.
Not today. And then, I leave. To this day, I've never repainted our house inside or out.
Just leave her all the work.
If she wanted me to help, she wouldn't set up such an obvious trap.
I mean, it's her own fault. It's her own fault. I'm going to have to use that. Shit.
To get out of things?
Yeah.
Drop cloth. Drop cloth.
Nope. I've seen Lethal Weapon 2. You ain't getting me, sucker.
You're not getting me, sucker. All right, Booker T. You ain't getting me, sucker.
Oh, God damn. Woo. I didn't know if you were going to stop.
I didn't either.
Thought you were going to end up passing out.
For the bit, it would have been worth it. I go hard for my bits.
Shit. I could have edited
that sounded weird. Wait, I don't go hard for like my bits. No, my bits, not like my bits, it's, although I do go hard on those. Wait, that sounds, no, I'm not like going hard on my bits. I go hard. Wait,
I gotta leave. Oh, I'll just leave. You can be hard on your bits. And
no, I'm not like hard on my bits. No, I go hard on my bits. It's totally different.
Yeah, it sounds totally different. Doesn't sound at all like. Oh God!
You doing okay?
Oh.
Do you need your pills?
Whew. I also have a hernia.
You do now.
Oh. Push that sumbitch back in.
I like you add the little pop sound effect. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So,
what are we talking about?
Krugerrands.
Hard bits. Okay.
Well, you have to bite them.
I'm gonna say, did they bite those?
They were like, "There's a buffalo on this. This garbage out of here. This piece of shit." So all that's taken into the car and the cougar ants. That's all evidence. And do we go from here? Do we go to Murtaugh's house or back to the police station?
We're at the police station very briefly because he's talking to Murtaugh's talking to the commissioner, the captain, or whatever. Captain. And then they leave to go back to Murtaugh's house because the car's all messed up. Poor car.
Right, but this is also but you're stepping on something if this is the right scene where they go and we see Riggs escaping from the straitjacket.
Oh yes, I forgot this was that part.
There's two very important elements to this. So we go back to the police station, and we see all the other detectives.
That's right, because
watching Riggs escape a straitjacket because they've all got money riding on if he can escape a straitjacket inside of 5 minutes, and they've all bet that he can't. And Riggs is putting on a show. He's fighting. He's struggling, and then it's like 30 seconds left, and now it's time to take these fools' money. So he dislocates his shoulder, which he can now do on command after an accident he had way back when. And then with his dislocated shoulder, he can just pull the thing up over his head, and there we have it. That's important. Also, although I do like how he just slams that shit back in as the precinct psychiatrist is coming around the corner. She's like, detective, my door is always open.
I like what she says. She's like, why do you do this to yourself, Riggs? And he's like, well, who else can I do it to? None of them will let me. I like that a lot.
It's true.
Yeah, now, her name, actress-wise, is Mary Ellen Trainor.
Yes, and this is her third movie with us.
And then that will actually come back here in a moment.
Okay.
I will tell you why.
Okay. So now all the other detectives are paying Riggs. Remember in Lethal Weapon 1, when we reviewed it, we frequently fell upon the topic as if it were the number 3. We were just falling on this topic. 3. Are Riggs and Murtaugh bad at their job as far as being police detectives? And we determined absolutely. Now, in Lethal Weapon 2, we learn that the whole precinct is bad at their jobs as far as being cops and or detectives. Do you remember what I'm talking about?
No.
They are paying Riggs. They're slamming the money on on he and Murtaugh's desk. Or desks. I think they're next to each other. Much like their beds, just pushed together.
At the head or the feet?
Sides.
Or the sides. Okay.
You can't spoon if it's
That's true.
Lengthwise, you weirdo. Also, then you've got someone's feet on the top of your head all night.
I don't know what they like.
No one likes that for sleeping.
For sleeping.
For sleeping.
Yeah. It's good for 10 minutes.
They're going through the cash. And then there are several cougarans.
Yeah,
in the pile of money that
somebody throws one down.
One or two people throw down 1 or 2 cougarans to pay off their part of the bet. And then Murtaugh takes them, and Riggs is like, "Hey, those are mine." He's like, "No, they're not. You don't have them. No one's supposed to have them." So now we have motherfucking detectives breaking into the evidence locker and stealing gold cougarans.
And Roger doesn't even do anything with it. He just opens up his desk. He's like, "This goddamn cougaran," throws it in his desktop dresser drawer and slams it shut.
Yeah.
Like, damn it.
Guys, this is evident. And then Riggs was just going to take it as a bet payoff. Is their evidence locker just open? I bet the narcotics department's evidence locker is just empty all the time. Hey, what happened to that big bust? Huh?
Got a white mustache.
Look like Tom Selleck.
What are you talking about?
Like, they could just get in there and just no one gives a shit.
It's fine. It's fine.
We had 900 We had 15 Cougarans we found in the glove box.
But it's a good thing they don't need that for any evidence at all, because they don't have
what?
a suspect.
You're not wrong as far as how this particular police investigation goes. Evidence is not necessary.
Nope.
Then we go to Murtaugh's house, and they're all sitting around. They're having dinner. Riggs is there, obviously, but I really enjoyed this because, like, Riggs just has a seat at the table now. Like, he just has a chair.
Oh yeah, it's like
he's just family.
He is family. He can sit wherever he wants, come over anytime, leave anytime. Just does his laundry there.
Because they are getting ready because Rianne has gotten an acting role in a commercial. And they're having dinner, getting ready for the commercial. So you've got the family, you got Riggs, you got Rianne's boyfriend, George?
Yes.
George sounds right. He seems like a nice young man.
He does seem
I don't
like a
mean
nice
that
guy.
in a facetious way either. Like, he just seems like a nice young man. And, but if you look, I just love, and it's real quick, and they don't ever draw any attention to it, but there's so much conversation because it's a family table and there's talking everywhere. But if you notice, Riggs is telling Rianne things she can and can't do and whatever, like her dad.
Yeah, it's
even
almost like she has two fathers.
Yeah, because at one point, like, her and George are going to go out, and then it's Riggs telling her to be home by like 11 or what. It's not even Murtaugh, because Murtaugh's mad about something else, and he's talking to his wife or kids or whatever, and it's Riggs stepping up to fill in for him. And no one misses a beat. No one gives a weird look. No one questions it. It's just, no, this is just life.
It's normal. It is their normal life.
And I appreciate the hell out of this. Seeing this evolution of that relationship, like we talked about earlier. We're going to get into it more, but this is the next really big conclusive moment of how their lives have changed since the first one.
This is one of the things I like the most about number 2 over the first, second, third, and fourth ones, is just the family dynamic.
Yeah.
The conversation with every member of the family, they all have a small thing to say, but it's still important.
Yeah.
And you feel like you are a part of that family just by hanging out with them. And it's just fun. Just fun listening to them, going back and forth about different things. And there is one part of this when they get to the house, when Roger and Riggs get to the house, and they go upstairs to look at his new garage that he's building, that Roger's building. I don't understand why. Well, okay, I understand why it's there, but it's kind of a waste of time, where they go up into his hobby room, and the carpenter's up there with a nail gun, and he hammers a couple nails down and scares the shit out of Roger and Riggs, and they pull their guns, and it's only there to show off that the nail gun.
You have to set it up, otherwise it becomes ex machina.
Absolutely, but I don't know. You could do away with that and do away with the nail gun and just have a different, trim some time if you need to.
Sure, but another way to look at it as, remember in the first one, Roger was all up on his boat.
Yes.
This is the new boat.
That is true.
So, I mean, it still fits as far as, like, this is Murtaugh's new hobby.
Yeah, and I guess he is kind of getting ready, because he even mentions about thinking about retiring, and, it's his hobby room, so when he retires, he'll have something to do, and okay, it doesn't bother me nearly as much now, but honestly, it's a nitpick. It's a major nitpick.
But Rianne's commercial comes on. Everyone is super excited.
Everyone's around the TV, even the carpenter.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And there she is, and, she's good looking. She's on the beach in a swimsuit. She's running. Then this attractive guy starts chasing her, not like in a weird menacing way, like in a fun, playful chase. Chase can be taken many ways. This was not a primetime commercial where some guy is menacingly chasing a woman across the beach at night. No, it's fun, it's playful, it's vibrant. And then the narrator, and when the moment is right, you will be ready. And then they're like, we're always ready. And then condoms.
Ramsey's.
Ramsey's
Extra
condoms. Ramsey's Extra. Condoms you can trust. And all the life drains from Murtaugh's face.
I love this whole part. and even the carpenter, because he's like, Roger is so pissed. Because he even learns that they learn about this stuff in human development, even in class.
Oh,
like
his youngest
daughter.
Yeah. Because, his youngest daughter, his youngest child is like, Daddy, you don't have to be embarrassed. We learn about this in human development. It's normal. Human what? Developing, huh? Did you know about this?
And the carpenter's like, I don't know what the big deal is. I loved it. It makes me want to go buy rubbers right now. Oh, that was so great.
Like, get the hell out of here.
But I was going to say, before the commercial comes on, they're watching TV, and a commercial for Tales from the Crypt comes on.
Oh, yeah.
That episode was called All Through the House. It was a Psycho Santa episode. It aired on June 10th, 1989, and it starred Mary Ellen Trainor. She was actually the one, because you can see the woman in the actual commercial kind of holding up an axe and bringing it down.
Yes, you can. Yeah,
that is her. She is the one in that commercial. And that was also
Mary Ellen Trainor Inception.
Some of the episodes of that particular season was produced by Richard Donner.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
So it's kind of a cool little Easter egg there. Yeah. I like that.
Does that also mean that like all of her work came from Donner?
Probably.
It's like what's her name? Helena Botham Carter.
Yeah.
And
shit. Yeah.
Dipshit McGee.
I had it and I just totally lost it. Tim Burton. Give me a Coke.
I know for a fact your doctor doesn't want me buying you soda.
I didn't say soda.
Let me go to the old evidence locker. That shit's just a revolving door.
It's just right underneath the Cougaran.
All right, you're gonna go in there. There's gonna be some guns and a duffel bag. Push those to the side.
Yeah.
Underneath, there's gonna be a box. There's gonna be a bunch of gold Cougarans. Sweep those to one side. Then there's a duct tape package. That's what we're looking for.
Be careful. There might be a bloody machete laying in there somewhere. It really hasn't been properly put into evidence.
We didn't have time to bag it.
Yeah, we didn't.
It just is.
We just threw it in the box.
I sound like it makes me want to buy rubbers now.
And Grandel Bush just spit on the machete for some reason. I don't know why.
Damn it, Bush! Also, his third movie with us now.
Yeah, but did you know he is not the same character from the Lethal Weapon 1 movie?
Are you sure?
I am positive.
Okay.
Because his character's name in Lethal Weapon was...
He's looking it up.
There it is. Boyette.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
And Lethal Weapon 2. There it is. Jerry Collins.
Ah. So clearly the writers they remembered the actor. They just forgot the character's name.
Yeah. Or maybe they liked Boyette so much that they're like, we don't want him to die.
And they shouldn't have had the actor.
It'll be fine. Nobody will even know.
Twin brother. Different names.
Nobody's ever done that before.
For reasons.
Yeah. One got married.
And took her name. Much like you, Jennifer.
It's like J.D. Vance.
Who? Okay.
Never mind.
So that's when... So what are you giggling at?
Anyway, we are at the...
We can't move on if you keep giggling about it. Someone in the comments, please... Someone in the comments, please explain to me what the hell he's going on about. So they've tracked the Cougarans down to some South African white supremacist apartheid individuals. You were looking at me.
Drop cloth?
Oh, yeah, it is drop cloth.
Drop cloth.
Go ahead.
So our driver,
Who escaped?
who does escape, arrives to his boss's office.
We learn his boss. Although, do we actually learn his position, or we just learn he's an very old white man with an accent?
I think we just learned he's a very old white man with an accent. Josh Ackland is that actor's name. I've only seen him in a few things, but I liked him. He's always...
I've seen him in this.
Really? I can't remember the other things I've seen him in, but... Yeah, so Josh Ackland tells him, yeah, don't mind the drop cloth. I'm having some painting done.
That wasn't a half bad impression.
Thanks. And this guy, my God, what a dumbass.
Didn't question it.
No. What is the guy's name? I can't keep calling him Josh Ackland. Rudd. Arjun Rudd. That's his name. So Rudd was talking to him about, well, I'm glad you made it. No scratch, no broken bones or anything, blah, blah, blah. He's like, oh yeah, no, I'm fine. Thanks. He goes, yeah, but we did lose, what was it, like a $500,000
or something,
some
crazy amount of money.
And you can tell he's upset. And our driver guy is like, oh, it happens.
It happens.
He deserves that bullet in the head.
And then he's executed.
Yes, he is. By Adolf. I don't know what his real name was. Forsted.
There's a specific scene after the fish, too.
Yeah.
Forsted! I don't know why that's funny.
Pick him up with your hands.
Man, you've got it. Yeah.
Thank you.
Arjun Rudd in the house, everyone.
I practice that at work. A lot of people give me weird looks.
Just you driving by. Forsted!
Yeah.
Huh? That's what we call me?
Pick them up with your hands. And they're like, what? Pick what up with my hands? I don't know. What else would I pick them up with? My butt cheeks? What's he talking about? And he just drove away like some jackass. There he is. He's hollering at that guy, the Forsted, to pick shit up with his hands. What the fuck?
I don't know why that's as funny as it is. It's just Tevis, what the hell, man? You just caused an accident. You just whip out your workbench. Diplomatic immunity.
Yeah, if I ever get written up at work, that's what I'm going to do. I have that on the little zippy chain thing. Diplomatic immunity. And then let it go. Right back to my chest. And then just walk away.
Goodbye. We are the dumbest show on the internet. Or at least the dumbest people on the internet. And that's impressive.
Man.
So now we cut back to Murtaugh's house. As we see, it almost looks like Riggs is just doing dishes.
No, he's making chili.
Oh, that's what he's doing. Yeah, he's cooking. He's cooking up chili for dinner for the family.
Yes, he is.
As Murtaugh's wife is at the table, and they're just talking.
Yeah, because nobody wants her cooking.
True.
Yeah.
And Riggs, did you really like my wife's cooking? No. See you later. But she's like, Riggs, I was going to ask you, I found this gold pin in the laundry. Is it yours? And then Riggs gives a little monologue about how the pin is his and goes into how his wife died and the car accident and his breakdown. And he's even just like, yeah, you and I, we've never really talked about that, have we? And he gives this emotional monologue, but he doesn't give it in an emotional or melodramatic way.
No, he's fantastic in this.
It's
entire scene.
I'm trying to summon the words to describe, like, there is a practiced calm to how he tells this story. Like it still punches him in the gut, but he's gotten used to it. And he's probably told it enough times, even if just to himself reliving it in his head, that he can get through it without getting choked up necessarily. And I don't know her name, but the wife is just sitting at the table, and she's looking borderline devastated for her friend as he tells the story. She's also giving a great performance. Trish.
Yeah, Murtaugh's wife.
Yeah.
Yeah, Trish.
Yeah, Trish is giving a great performance too.
Yeah, just the look on her face.
Yeah.
That's we've talked about this before, like acting is reacting.
Yes.
So, yeah, she does a fantastic job of making us feel it even more.
He's feeding her, but her reaction feeds back into Mel Gibson, and that's how this works. I'm sorry. I'm not a big fan of just everything is green screen, but you can make it work as long as your actors are together. But if you have this person on a set by themselves in front of a green screen doing their thing, you've missed it.
Right.
I don't care how good of a performance it is. It's not what it could have been.
My favorite part of this whole scene is right after she says, I found this pin in the wash. Is it yours? And he goes to reach for it. It's almost like he's a little hesitant to grab it. And then when he does grab it, it's like you could tell that the weight of the world is in that pin.
Mm-hmm.
And he doesn't really want it, but he doesn't want to not have it at the same time.
It's a memento, but not a good one.
Yeah. But yeah, this, from that beginning of the scene until Murtaugh walks in, this whole thing is fantastic.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, it's not like it stops being fantastic just because
No.
Murtaugh walks in. Fucking Danny
As soon as
Glover.
he walks in, it's like, God damn it, you ruined the whole scene. No.
Because the gold pen, Trish found a gold pen in the wash.
Yeah, and then just exchanged that look.
Yeah.
That was so cool. Yeah, that knowing look is like.
But again, great scene, great acting, the good writing. And again, I am 100% in for whatever snippets we can see of this new dynamic.
Yeah, me
Because
too.
we see Riggs with Murtaugh. Then we see Riggs with the family, particularly Rhiann, the oldest daughter. Then we see Riggs with Trish. Like, he's family.
He is.
He probably has his own room.
Yeah, they kicked out the boy. Like, get the fuck out.
Well, no, I figure, part of the new garage/hobby room will be like, in Happy Days, how Fonz slept in the little apartment loft above the garage.
No, I don't know that.
So, in American television classic Happy Days, Arthur Fonzarelli, played by Henry Winkler, aka the Fonz, is in need of an apartment fairly early on in the show's life. And he ends up renting out the loft apartment space above the Cunningham's garage. And that's where he lives.
So Riggs is the Fonz.
Yes.
Okay.
Which is...
I like Riggs better.
Yeah, but he doesn't have the leather jacket and the motorcycle. And
doesn't need it. He's got the hair.
Fonz had good hair.
Nah, not as good as the
mullet.
Feathered mullet.
The Farrah Fawcett.
The Kurt Russell.
Wait. In what movie does Kurt Russell have a feathered mullet?
Tango and Cash?
Never seen Tango and Cash.
You will.
Yes, I will. As we do episode 3 of Sarah and Sly with Tango and Cash.
All right, where are we at?
Riggs goes home and watches The Stooges with Sam.
That poor dog.
What do you mean that poor dog?
He just gets left alone all the time.
Like most dogs when the owner has to work?
It's not making sense. Nobody likes that.
He'd bring Sam over more, but Burbank the cat doesn't like that.
That's true. I do recall that.
Yeah.
From the original.
Yeah.
Okay. Never mind then.
You got anything else, smart guy?
No. Have we met Leo yet?
So, actually, we do right after the Stooges.
That's fitting.
Riggs and Murtaugh are put on assignment. They are to babysit a federal witness and keep him safe for 2-3 days.
Yeah, because right after the Stooges, Murtaugh's house gets broken into.
But his house gets broken into because, so they've met. Yes, so Stooges, police make a raid on Aaron Rudd's place where they're moving a bunch of Cougarans and drugs and whatever. And that's when the bust gets stopped because Rudd makes it very clear that they're diplomatic consulates from the South African government. They have diplomatic immunity, and therefore they cannot be touched. And they're like, we're going to get you, you got out on this technicality. But he's like, my dear officer, you couldn't write me a parking ticket. And it's so good.
Yeah. Josh Ackland's really good.
Yeah, he is. And so they're like, God damn, fuck shit. But after they leave, that's when Rudd tells his main associate to send a message. So that associate and some goons break into Murtaugh's house and duct tape he and his wife, duct tape over the mouth, duct tape their hands and feet together, and lay it out pretty well what's going to happen if they continue down this road.
So yeah, that's when the captain gives them a new assignment.
Yes, to take them off the one that got Murtaugh and his family's life threatened. I will say this, though. Had Riggs been living in the apartment upstairs, those guys wouldn't have broken into shit.
They would have regretted it.
There'd have been 9 dead bodies on the front yard.
Yeah, they would have regretted it, definitely.
And that house would have had so many bullet holes.
15 in little pockets.
Well, you figure 9 guys, that's 9 clips of ammo. Yeah, that math works.
Yeah.
You can't miss if you shoot enough times.
Jesus, Riggs.
Right. So that's when we're introduced to Joe Pesci's Leo Gets.
Whatever Leo wants.
No, whatever you want.
Whatever you want, Leo gets.
Leo
That's right.
Gets. Get it? You get it? You get it?
Yeah.
Okay. I literally cannot talk as fast as Joe Pesci talks.
Me either.
Okay.
No, I can't. My mouth will not form words that quick.
No.
I can barely form words at a normal space. See? Speed.
Space. Were you going back into your Rudd impression?
Kind of, a little bit.
So we learned that Leo was a money launderer for some big time drug empire-esque kind of.
Sure.
He laundered drug money.
Yes.
And over the course of his career doing so, he took a little there, took a little there. And that estimated to about $500 million in stolen drug money.
Ballsy.
That, you know what? The cartel noticed that.
A little bit, yeah. Yeah, they weren't happy.
No. So, to save his own skin, to avoid murder and jail time, he turned witness. Well, unlucky for him, his cards are Riggs and Murtaugh.
I love these three together.
Remember that thought when we do Lethal Weapon 3?
Yeah.
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 I love those. I love these three together in this one. They're so fun. In this one.
Oh, and just
in this one.
And Lethal Weapon 2.
Hugh. Yes.
So
Hugh.
Riggs and Murtaugh go to the hotel where Leo is staying. Open the door. We're the police. We're here to guard you. Leo opens the door. And then they immediately throw him in a wrist lock. And they're like, you dumb son of a bitch. Don't you ever do that stupid shit again. You didn't even ask for bad. The fuck is the matter? And I'm going, God damn, why are they so antagonistic?
They're playing the Three Stooges.
I guess.
Well, then also Leo is like touching their gun and.
Oh yeah. Well, he's like, "Oh man, you got an old cylinder gun. I bet the kid's got an automatic," and then starts reaching for their gun, so they like slap him in the face, but not like a Stooges slap.
Oh, he slaps him and he falls into Murtaugh's chest.
Yeah.
And, yeah.
And then Murtaugh shoves him off.
Yeah.
And his Stooges-esque now that you put it that way. Yeah.
And that's when we get
but
room service.
There is an assassin in the building, as we also see. Because that's when room service comes in. And Leo's like, "I didn't order a steak. It's 9 a.m. I ordered eggs." And that guy pulls out a gun.
So they did a very poor job of protecting Leo.
Oh, you say it like it was this one instance. They do a very poor job
if that room was on the other side of the building, there would have been 3 stains on the cement.
Yes.
Because Riggs just takes off and
wait, why
dives.
did you say it that way?
What?
Cement. No, cement.
It's cement.
It's not SEAMENT.
It's cement.
Cement.
Yeah, it's cement. Cement?
It's cement.
Cement.
They got them there, that new cement. No, it's cement.
I'm sorry. Let me redo that. There would have been 3 bloodstains on the cement.
Cement.
Is that better?
Yes.
Thanks.
Cement. There would have been 3 bloodstains on that there, and they're fresh, clean cement. They would have had to get a power washer. Had to spray that shit down on that cement.
Had to go to the Walmart, get your power washer.
Or at least probably get some new hoses and some washers for my power washer, so the hoses don't leak. And then, got to spray down that cement.
Cement is what it is.
Cement.
Yeah.
If you say it quick enough, you can just drop the T off. Cement. Got to really spray down that cement.
No, you can't. You cannot.
I'm pretty sure you can because I just did.
Yeah, but you got to spray down that semen.
We all knew where this was going.
Thank God there was a pool.
Yeah, so Riggs and Murtaugh try to stop the assassin and apprehend him, which obviously leads to the assassin, Leo, and Riggs breaking through a window on like the 18th story.
There are 7 floors.
7th or 8th? 7th floor.
Roger even says, "Hey," or Riggs says, "Why didn't you follow me down?" He's like, "I was 7 floors up." Yeah.
And they land in a pool. To which... there was like a pool? No, was it a pool cover or like some kind of robe or something's over a guy's face? So Riggs just starts hammering him in the face.
I think it's the apron or the tablecloth from the little rolly cart.
From the cart.
Yeah.
So Riggs just starts dropping blows on this guy's face. Come to find out the assassin's half a block running down the street. And Riggs is just blasting Leo in the nose.
Poor guy. And he can't swim.
No.
Man.
Where were you? Why didn't you follow me down? I was 7 floors up. Okay, so they give chase to that guy.
No. This is where Leo, go back to the house, get a change of clothes, get all dried off.
This is where Leo shrinks Riggs' shirt.
Yes.
So Leo starts doing he and Riggs' laundry to get it nice and dry, and Leo shrinks Riggs' shirt by putting too much fabric softener.
And Roger's like, "Hey, you can give that to Nick."
Yeah. And so what does Riggs do? Takes the shirt off. "Where's Trish keep my clothes?" And they're like, "Oh, it's on that shelf above the dryer." Riggs just has clothes over at their house. He has his own little closet space.
He fucking lives there, man. He's like their family dog. He gets treated better than poor Sam.
It's probably true. But Sam has more freedom.
That is true.
And most of the time he has his own bachelor pad.
That is true too. So Way to go, Sam.
Right? So Leo begins talking to them about a place he had been to, did some work at. It was a handoff, and it was a place, and he's just really struggling to like remember a lot of the details. But he's like, I could take you there. And they're like, sure, let's go. We're just gonna take,
Let's bring our witness.
our federal witness that we're protecting on a bust.
Yes.
And come to find out, they are once again back at the Stilts house, the house on stilts.
Yeah, and this is where they run into the guy that tried to kill him earlier.
Yes.
And he takes off in a tow truck.
Yes.
This scene is phenomenal.
So
I love this.
Leo and Murtaugh are in the car giving chase, but Riggs is on the bed of the tow truck that has a car attached to it.
Yes, it does.
So Riggs is now like up against the back windshield, but under the trailer, and he's got his gun drawn. Does he A, find a way inside the cab? B, shoot that guy with an entire clip of ammo? Or C, waste time by making a quip and putting him in more jeopardy? Donna.
I want to say B. That sounds like what Riggs would do.
All right, sir, we're gonna need your final answer.
Can I phone a friend?
No, you don't have any friends.
Shit, how'd you know?
'Cause I'm here.
Hey.
He makes his way into the cab.
Yes.
Oh, I'm sorry, that is incorrect. He actually knocks on the back windshield with his gun to quit. Hey, asshole!
Damn it.
To which the guy then just lowers the bed down to crush him.
Yeah, so then he has to make his way to the very top of the truck.
Yes.
Yeah.
So then the good driver knows he's on the top of the truck, slams on the brakes, and then we see Riggs as he rolls off the roof of the car, down the windshield, off the hood, and then the guy guns it to run him over. But Riggs is, hold on to the grill.
Indiana Jones style.
Indiana Jones style. I thought that too.
Yes.
But
there is a really cool shot of this where the camera's kind of pulled back away so you can see Mel Gibson actually strapped to the front of this car. The car is actually moving.
Yeah.
There's cars going by. It looks good. It looks really good.
But was it Mel or was it an Eddie Murphy stunt double?
Oh, no, it was Mel because you could see his face. He's
Yeah.
like looking at the camera a few times. Yeah, it was him.
Of course it was Mel.
Hell yeah,
Mel's
he
the
would do that.
greatest.
It was a good stunt.
Had it been Eddie Murphy, it would have just been,
Michael Clark Duncan on the front.
Yeah. It would have been Michael Clark Duncan just holding on to the grill. And you're going, that guy is 10 times the size of Eddie Murphy. Oh, that's still funny to me. But the funniest thing about Beverly Hills Cop are the stunt doubles. But Riggs sees, oh shit, this guy's about to wreck into another car. So he jumps and gets out of the way. The guy wrecks into another car that has a surfboard attached onto the roof. And that surfboard becomes the world's worst projectile as the entire surfboard flies back through the windshield and cuts his head off?
I think. You don't really see it, but
it either cuts his head off or just impales his face all the way through.
Either way.
But it's a surfboard, so if it didn't cut his head off, it would have cut his forehead off.
Let's go with that.
It would have been the world's deepest scalping.
I like that a lot.
You're the only one.
Death by surfboard.
Surfboard death.
Yes.
And when you know it, their lieutenant or captain or whoever is not super thrilled about this.
What do you mean? Taking a witness along on a bust?
Well, so they took a witness along for a bust. A bust that they were not investigating that led to the South African consulate that have diplomatic immunity that they've already had trouble with in the past. And now there's a dead consulate member. So not the greatest, no.
So after this, I think is when they put that bomb on the toilet.
We're not there yet.
We're not there yet. Okay, we're not there yet.
Because now Arjun Rudd begins talking to his main guy, Forsted. I can never remember his name unless I yell it. Forsted. And I have it in my notes here. Arjun Rudd is the villain that the Roadhouse remake was supposed to be. Arjun Rudd is that character archetype we talked about in the Showdown episode. Brad Wesley in the original Roadhouse was as well, he is the businessman. He's the architect of the plans. He's the mastermind. He's the Hans Gruber. He doesn't get his hands dirty. He has people for it. But isn't a giant puss and will handle things when he's sufficiently motivated to handle things. And what sells this character? We've talked about it with the Deacon. We talked about it in Roadhouse. We talked about it every time this comes up. It's about presence. It's about charisma. How commanding is the guy performing this character? Little douche-face Doucherson in the Roadhouse remake. I don't even remember his name because he's so inconsequential.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
He's this little wiener kid and he's a joke. And it's pathetic. Arjun Rudd is scary.
He is scary.
Arjun Rudd will have people break into your house and murder you. If you fuck up, Arjun Rudd will pull a gun and execute you. And yet every time he's on screen, he basically steals the scene. His dialogue is so strong, and he delivers it so perfectly. It's almost spellbinding.
I love the scene where him and
Forsted
are talking in his office,
which is the scene I'm talking about right now, because that's when he mentions to Forsted, your warning didn't work.
Yes. And then Forsted is looking around the room, looking behind him.
What are you doing?
I was wanting to look and see if I was standing on plastic.
Plastic.
Only Forsted could say that to him.
True.
Because I think they've worked together for so long. They both he can get away with certain things.
But
and being his number one guy.
Yeah. But at the same time, I also think Forsted knows. Like, he's not a guy that screws up.
Right.
Which is why he's in the position he's in. And he can get away with certain things with Rudd. But he also knows Rudd will air quote, replace me if I'm not meeting his expectations.
Right.
So it was played off as a joke, but at the same time, no, he got a little maybe too uncomfortable in his surroundings and was making sure.
That's what I love about the villains in this movie. They're not overly charismatic to where you really, really like them. They're not jokey.
No.
This is the only kind of even real joke that he's even made by them. They are just evil. They want one thing, money, 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 money. They don't care who gets in the way. They're just fucking evil. And they're fantastic.
Yeah.
There's not a hokey thing about them. There's not a quippy thing about them. They're very much business.
So if we were to try to name this type of villain archetype as like the mastermind, just workshopping names here, I would put Arjun Rudd at the very top of examples of what this archetype is supposed to be, right next to Hans Gruber.
Yeah, and see, that's what I mean by overly charismatic. Like, Hans Gruber is amazing.
Oh my God, yeah.
But he is he's overly charismatic too. It's like I really like Hans Gruber.
Yeah, you want to hang out with him.
Yeah, I don't want to hang out with Arjun Rudd.
No.
I don't want to hang out with Forsted.
Maybe Forsted.
But I just want to see these guys die. That's what I want to see. I want to see
dark.
them. I want to see them
Die
hard from a lethal weapon.
Sure. That's the content people listen for right there.
Stupid shit.
That's the most clever we'll ever be.
It's all downhill from here.
Oh, we've been on that downhill for a while.
Yeah.
Now, but you get what I'm saying. Like, to your point, yes, Hans Gruber is arguably too charismatic, but I don't know if that's the character's fault. I think that was just Alan Rickman.
Yeah, I agree.
Being charismatic as hell.
But like, I didn't want to see him die.
No, I think honestly, I kind of wish he had lived and then been the villain in 3 instead of. Although I love Jeremy Irons.
Yeah, I would have rather seen him be the villain in 2, and 4, and 5.
He should have just been the villain.
He should have been like the Joker. You know, he always makes a return.
It's just McClane and Gruber going at it in the eternal struggle.
Absolutely.
I'd be okay with that.
I would be too.
Arjun Rudd is so good.
He is good.
So that mastermind archetype, this is what you want. So that's when he says, we need to go send a message, but my way this time. Because Vorsted was playing nice when he broke into Murtaugh's house and duct taped him together and threatened him. Because Rudd wanted the heavy hand first thing. And Vorsted said he was going to take care of it. He didn't do it Rudd's way. He did it his way. Now they're going to do it Rudd's way. Smash cut to our 3 Stooges getting drive-through. And you never go through the drive-through.
I enjoyed this part of the movie when I first watched it. I don't know how I feel about it now.
You were talking about things that could probably be edited out for time.
Yeah.
I would cut this before
for the garage scene.
The garage scene.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
but it is humorous.
It is humorous. Yeah, it just felt like it went on a little too long.
They fuck you in the drive-thru. Okay, listen. They fuck you in the drive-thru, all right? They fuck you in the drive-thru. They know that by the time you get your food, you're just going to leave because you're hungry, you want to go home to eat, and you're going to be miles away before you even realize that they fucked you. And you're going to be so far away that you don't care enough to go back, so you're just going to deal with being fucked. And who gets fucked? Leo gets fucked.
Okay, yeah, I like this part.
And then they're just like, shut up!
I keep thinking about when they redo it in the 4th one with Chris Rock. And I'm like,
I forgot Chris Rock is the young detective in the 4th one.
And it's the cell phones. They fuck you with the cell phones. I'm like, ugh. No.
Fuck you with the cell phone.
It feels like Chris Rock is just doing his stand-up bit. And I don't like any of that shit when they just bring a comedian on to do their stand-up bit for the movie.
Yeah.
It's cheap.
It's like, okay, remember the old Westerns where one of the characters was always played by a contemporary country music artist?
Yes.
And then there, for no reason, the entire movie would grind to a halt because, Deputy Dipshit has a guitar and breaks out into song for no reason.
Well, there's a reason. It's because he's a country star. I don't think Tremors would have had the same effect if Reba McEntire would have busted into song as that graboid is bursting through their basement.
How dare you? Reba McEntire is the queen of country and TV sitcoms.
I like Reba McEntire. I'm just saying the movie would have screeched to a halt.
Yeah.
And I would have ejected it from my VHS player and threw it across my yard.
As opposed to what you ended up doing anyway because you were watching Tremors.
That movie is fantastic.
Is it?
Yes.
It's in the hat.
I've watched it recently.
Gross.
It's great. Toilet scene.
Toilet scene.
Toilet scene.
Go ahead. You love toilets?
Riggs gets a phone call.
Yes.
It's like, hey, have you heard from Murtaugh? No. Nobody has heard from him for a while. So Riggs runs over there with Leo.
And knowing Riggs, he may have just ran.
Well, yeah, but Leo was with him, so he had to put him in a car.
In the fucking car.
Yeah. And yeah, Riggs does what Riggs does. He pulls his gun and expects the worst, and
to be fair, everything they've been through up to this point.
That is fair.
Fair. Murtaugh did already in this movie have his house broken into and him being duct taped and threatened. Like, Riggs is prone to fly off the handle, but I honestly don't feel like this is one of those times.
That is a good point. So he runs upstairs, finds Riggs sitting on the toilet.
Murtaugh.
Or that's what I said. Roger.
That's what I said. Shut up.
You don't know me.
You don't even know me.
So Roger has sent Trish and the kids off to her mother's, I think.
Yeah,
they
basically needed them out of the script. So after the break-in, Trish takes all the kids to a relative's out of the city.
Yeah, to be safe. So Roger has the house to himself. And he was all excited to read his new
Deep Sea
Fishing magazine.
Can I pause you real quick? Can
Yes.
I interject? Because you've been married, which is well established, and have a child.
Yes.
I'm married and have kids. This isn't a derogatory statement towards wives, ex-wives, or children. But how nice is it when everyone gets the hell out of the house? And it's quiet. And you can just take a dump in peace.
Wherever you want.
I didn't say that.
On the counter.
No.
Doesn't matter. In the sink.
No.
Why am I divorced twice?
The picture's becoming clearer.
Okay.
But no, let's be honest.
Oh, yeah. No, I agree.
Murtaugh gives a bit of dialogue I'll let you get back into that I commiserated with so hard.
What was that?
And he's like, man, first time in I don't know how long.
Oh, yeah.
Kids aren't banging on the door. Trish isn't telling me to hurry up. I can just take my time. I got my deep sea fishing magazine. I was reading an article about catching marlin. And that's when I looked over and I saw this, and he pulls the toilet paper spool and it just says, "Boom, you're dead" written on it. But just his little thing like, kids aren't banging on the door. Wife's not telling me to hurry up. Do you know how often I'm trying to take a dump and then I get a text from my wife that just says, "Did you die?" I'm like, I'm just trying to enjoy a few peaceful moments while I do my business. And then I usually hit her with the, well, hold on, wait. I usually respond with the line from the...
Don't talk to me that way, woman!
No, I don't hit her. I respond with the line from the True Grit remake. "There is no clock on my business. How did you stalk me here?"
I prefer the
hitting.
I hit her.
I hit her with ...
With a rolling pin. Like, get back to work.
That's the wife's weapon. Everyone knows wives use rolling pins. Jackie Gleason's wife chased him around with a rolling pin in The Honeymooners.
You got to hit her with a rolling pin so you can put her back to work.
No, she is holding the rolling pin.
You take it from her and whack her with it and then put it back in her hand.
It's. I feel like we've gone in some weird circle.
Yes.
Man, The Honeymooners is funny, but everyone wants to like. There's only like 2 times I got into a legitimate argument with a college professor. One of them was over the sitcom All in the Family. Because they didn't fucking get it.
Okay.
They didn't get that All in the Family is satire.
Yeah.
About like how over the top Archie is.
Yeah.
As the uber conservative, old school, I want dinner on the table at this time, and he mistreats his wife and just is mean to her and that sort of like. the humor isn't that he treats Edith that way. The humor is that he's this old fuddy-duddy stereotype that the country and culture is moving away from. They're laughing,
Trying to.
but they're laughing at the men of yesteryear. That's the point of All in the Fucking Family.
Yeah.
And they don't get that, and it led to a pretty heated argument that I think I ended up dropping that class. Because
Damn, dropped a class over All in the Family?
Because the dumb bitch was wrong.
Okay.
And I'm not going to just sit here, especially because I attended college later in life. I wasn't 18. No, I'm a grown man, and I'm not going to just sit here and listen to someone get real preachy about something that doesn't matter and then actively force their opinion on kids who are just there to learn when their opinion is wrong. Well, it's an opinion. It can't be wrong. No, this opinion is wrong. Factually, it is wrong. But everyone glosses over the Honeymooners, which was the All in the Family before All in the Family, where the main punchline is domestic violence. Both ways, too.
Good point.
Wham, bang, Alice, straight to the moon. The joke is he's going to uppercut his wife so hard she will enter orbit, then continue on to the moon.
That shit's hilarious.
I mean, the Honeymooners is pretty good.
I had a teacher in college who, that was about the time that, oh my God, what is her name? Miley Cyrus.
Sure.
The Wrecking Ball.
Oh, yeah.
Video came out, and she was so appalled by it. And she's like, wait, I have to show you all this video. It's basically women being exploited and blah, 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 blah. And she showed us, and we're sitting there, a bunch of us guys were like, how is she being exploited? Like, she's the one making the decision. She's a big enough star that if she didn't want to be naked on that wrecking ball, she could be like,
and licking the hammer.
Yeah. I'm like, it's not like she's just some brand new singer coming up.
Hey, baby, I'll make you a star.
No, she was already huge.
Yeah.
So I'm like, she's not being exploited.
No.
She is exploiting herself for her own gain.
Yeah.
And that was our argument. And the teacher wasn't having that.
Right. Because you disagreed.
I was like, whatever. Move on. Move along.
No, I couldn't. She was wrong.
Yeah.
This is also the same teacher that wanted us being male white Americans. She felt like we owed an apology to all indigenous people for what happened to them. I haven't done anything to anybody. I'm not going to, nor can I even apologize for the atrocities committed hundreds of years ago.
Yeah, that's a little bit before my time.
I don't know how that landed on me. And then I said, and then she said, or when the Europeans, she kept saying the Europeans, like they're one collective people. When the Europeans came and wiped out the Incans and the Mayans, and I went, those were the Spaniards. Those were Spanish Europeans. They weren't even the white ones. You don't know what you're talking about. I'm not going to apologize because the Spanish conquistadors gave out smallpox blankets. I'm not going to apologize for what the white people did. I'm not going to apologize for what the Spanish did. I didn't do it. I'm not walking around going, blanket? Didn't do it. Not going to apologize for it. So between that and then All in the Family, I had to leave that class.
That's fair.
Because I'm not putting up with nonsense.
You know what's funny is we were getting ready to talk about an exploding toilet, and it turned into this.
Yeah. That class was an exploding toilet. And that air quote higher educated professor was the turd.
She landed on the windshield of Murtaugh's wife's car.
Yeah, absolute. She was the worst. I don't even remember her name. I just hope she got fired. I'm not gonna. I'm pretty lackadaisical with most things. College professors who exert their power and influence to force their opinions and worldviews on their students is one of the things that will set me off. I hate that shit.
That's fair.
They are not paying you guys thousands of dollars and coming to your shitty institution that's overpriced to listen to you rail on and on about whatever political garbage. They're in an accounting class. You're teaching them, pluses and minuses and gains and surpluses and losses and, supply and demand. They don't give a shit about your political opinion. Keep it to yourself and do your fucking job. And that goes to fucking all of them. I don't even give a shit if you're teaching a political science class. You can give an example, and then it's your fucking job to say, and then there's this opinion, and you get the students talking about it. And then, devil's advocate, then there's this side of the argument. It is your job to be both sides, to give an unbiased take and let these young adults figure their own shit out. But you give them the tools to figure shit out. You don't just stamp their brains with, this is what I think, so this is what you think. Fuck you.
Absolutely. I agree 100%.
Fuck our higher education system. Anyone listening, fuck college. Go to a tech school. I'm serious. Go to a tech school. Become a plumber. Become an electrician. Become a welder. Fill up these roles. It will be faster, infinitely cheaper, and when you graduate, you will be walking into a career that's going to make you so much money. If you stick with it, you will make so much more money. Out of the gate, let alone long term, out of the gate, you will make so much more money, welder, electrician, plumber, any of those trade school jobs, than you will with whatever the hell they're trying to sell you on at bumfuck university. Let the colleges burn. They've got enough money. Take up the trade jobs. That's where the money is right now.
Yeah.
That show your butthole on OnlyFans. But Anna won't let me do that.
Infinitely more money with a little butthole wink.
Wink. I'm sorry.
That's me subscribing.
$5 a month, ladies and gentlemen. All right. I'm sorry. I'm going to get off my high horse. Sorry, everybody. My soapbox came out. I wasn't even meaning for it to. It just happened. Soapbox is away. Tevis, I'm not going to say anything. Please get us through the toilet scene.
We have a bomb on a shitter.
And this is what happens when I let you talk.
Yes. This scene shows exactly how much Riggs loves Murtaugh. He gets down on the floor of the bathroom, squeezes behind the toilet and looks and sees that there's a bomb there. So he gets on the radio and Roger's like, hey, don't go like radio wide, keep it on a single frequency. Not everybody needs to know about this. It's like, trust me, Raj. And then every single person in the precinct, and probably in entire LA, knows about this.
It's what Simon Phoenix, he was able to use their absence to carve out his criminal empire in Demolition Man because all the cops were at Murtaugh's house.
So the bomb squad shows up. They put like a piece of styrofoam or whatever over that C4 device and then spray it with, oh my God, what did he say? I can't remember what it was. I don't know. Some sort of like dry ice or something to cause it to delay the explosion. I can't remember what he calls it.
Freon.
Freon. Okay.
Dry ice.
It's Freon, basically. But then the bomb squad guy is like, Briggs, get out. He's like, no. He's like, no, I'm serious. Get out. And he just looks at him like, no. I'm not leaving him here like this. And Roger even says, I can't move my legs. It's like, well, what we'll do is we'll pull you into this tub. It's a good cast iron tub. We'll pull this bomb blanket over you. You should be fine. Part of me should have a major problem with this scene, but
why?
Well, for just I'm being nitpicky, because the bomb blows a big ass hole in the house. The toilet flies out, lands on the car. The toilet's all in one piece. They wouldn't do that, but like I said, I'm being nitpicky. It's funnier being the toilet intact.
It's also funnier that the intact toilet lands on Trish's new car. The running joke of this new car just gets beat to shit is hilarious to me.
Well, yeah, even Leo like opens the door in traffic and the door gets ripped off. And so it's a running gag throughout this whole movie. But with an explosion like that and them being that close, they'd have at least a concussion, if not permanent hearing loss. Again, I'm being super nitpicky.
Action heroes don't get hearing loss.
Exactly. The only thing I do have a major problem with is the use of their slow motion that they did. And it's very brief. When the explosion goes off, you'll see like they do it here. They do it when that car drives out of that storage container. And there's another moment they do it. I can't remember. It's a really weird slow motion. It's almost like they take frame by frame, and they kind of overlap. So you see a residual image.
Mm-hmm.
It's really weird. I don't like it.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
It throws me off, and I've never seen it done this way since this movie. That's the only real nitpick I have about the whole scene.
And then we also get we go on 3. Wait,
yes.
Wait. So like 1, 2, go, 1, 2, 3, go, 1, 2, 3, go. Like what,
And he says, "Well, it's your ass, Cochise. You decide."
Which is fair.
Yes.
I'm okay with what, in this instance, how do you want to do this?
Yeah. But yeah, this scene does show a lot. It definitely shows the love that Briggs has.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
For his buddy.
But also, while the bomb is going off, Vorstad has led bomb plants and murders on 6 other cops. Basically, all the cops that were part of the original bust when they met Arjun Rudd were targeted and murdered.
Yeah,
with the exception of Riggs and Murtaugh.
Yeah, well, Riggs would have been, but and not Riggs. Roger would have been.
Except they got cheeky and was like, "Boom, you're dead."
There wasn't any kind of bomb for Riggs, though.
No, they sent helicopters to his trailer and lit that thing up.
Yeah, as he's getting busy with
Rika.
Yeah,
there is a love story in this, but it's not important.
It is important.
Is it?
It is. It shows a couple of things. It shows that he has gotten over the loss of his wife.
Tits?
I said he got over, not came over.
No, it showed a couple things.
Yeah, showed a couple of things. Yes, that's
Didn't
true.
show any Mel.
A little bit, not much.
No,
but
it didn't.
It shows that Riggs has gotten over the loss of his wife enough to pursue a new romantic relationship. I'm going to hold that for when we talk about the straitjacket scene.
Okay. So Rika being the secretary to Arjun Rudd. So that's a bit of a conflict of interest.
Yeah. Do you think she knows what's going on with her boss?
No, he keeps her in the dark. So he can creep on her.
Yeah, he does kind of
He does try to touch her face.
a little bit.
I'm not a face toucher. It's creepy. Don't touch my face. I don't touch my wife's face. I don't feel the need to touch face.
Okay.
So when Arjun's just like trying to like pet her cheek, I'm like, dude, you're old enough to be her grandfather. Calm down, Arjun.
Yeah, settle down. You'll have a heart attack on top of her. Boo.
And she's so small, she'd never get out from underneath him.
She'd die.
They'd find her just dead, crushed, suffocated,
They do.
starved.
Yeah.
Oh. So yeah, that was the attempt on Murtaugh's life. They tried to kill Riggs with some attack helicopters that with machine guns that light up his trailer.
Pretty cool scene.
Well, okay, he and Rika do it like 8 or 9 times.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I mean, yeah.
I bet Mel and I can break that.
I'm gonna say you would too if it was you and Mel.
Man, get just her out of the way.
You'd be like, one more time. God, round 10.
That's right. I'm going all the way. We're gonna need a judge's decision. So they capture Riggs.
So let me ask you this.
Okay, yeah. Yes.
Riggs's house just gets shot up.
Yep.
He kills all these guys.
He kills a few.
Jumps in the car with Rika, takes off. Why does he take her to her house?
He's not very good at his job. Same reason he took Leo on busts.
Yeah, that always bothered me.
Oh yeah, but you know what? She didn't think that was a bad idea either.
Yeah, I don't understand. I never understood that. Like, go somewhere else. Anywhere.
Maybe just spend the night at the precinct.
Go to the police station.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It is what it is.
So they're captured. Riggs is put in like a burlap bag, like a canvas bag, and then wrapped with chains.
Yes.
And Vorsted mentions
Who?
Vorsted?
There we go. Thank you.
Mentions that, oh yeah, I killed your wife, by the way. Have fun with that. And then throws his ass in the water.
I have a problem with that too.
Why would you do that?
I don't think we needed that.
Oh, the whole connection to
Yeah.
Riggs's past. Like, just let it have been a car accident.
Well, even maybe. Yeah. Well, yeah. Just leave it as a car accident, but maybe bring it later down the road if you do a couple more sequels.
But even I feel like by 89, this is a tired trope. Like, not everything has to be a connected puzzle piece in the grand scheme of the universe. Like,
Yeah.
sometimes random shit happens and it sucks.
I don't think he needed that extra bit of motivation. He is already okay. So they throw him in the water, straight jacket, chains,
So
dislocated shoulder,
and
gets out,
and then
sees Rika.
Yeah, sees Rika, who was given the same jacket chain treatment, but she's dead.
Yeah, and this moment actually broke my fucking heart for Riggs. Because, man, I love Martin Riggs. He is such a good character. But he's walking up and down the beach carrying Rika. And in my head, I'm like, okay, this woman she is the one who he was able to he got over his wife's death. He's making that next step, making an effort, trying to he's gotten past his suicidal tendencies. He's trying to make something with his life. And they took that from him.
Yeah.
And I don't think that you needed that extra little thing of, oh, we also killed your wife.
Yeah, it seems contrived and unnecessary.
Yeah. And then too, he also learns after he deals with Rika that all of his buddy cops, with the exception of Roger, have been blown up and killed.
But at least that works with the plot.
It does. No, I'm not saying that's a bad thing.
But the wife.
Yeah, you have Rika, you have all of his friends. You don't need the wife.
No.
Either leave it alone or save it for down the road.
Yeah. That's fair.
So that
I think as a writer, that's one of those things I would leave it alone. Just leave it alone. Just outright. Don't need it.
yeah.
It's like in Halloween where Michael became Laurie's brother. We didn't need that. The fact that he was just a random stranger
Oh, you're talking
in Halloween
in the original
who
Halloween.
becomes obsessed and then hunts this random girl for seemingly no reason and then kills everyone that gets in his way to get to her.
Yeah, you don't need all that connection. And
No, it's unnecessary.
yeah,
So now the guy, it just so happens that Riggs bumps into the hitman, coincidentally, that had a hit on Riggs back in the day when Riggs was working narcotics, that also murdered his wife.
yeah, too
It's-
much.
Yeah,
That's
a 3-writer problem.
I don't know if this is in fact a Shane Black thing, but I feel like it's a Shane Black thing, so I'm going to say it's a Shane Black thing.
But it could be a Warren Murphy thing. It could be a Jeffrey Boehm thing.
There's some things about the Shane Black script that we'll touch on later.
Mhm.
Remind me.
When do you want me to remind you?
At the end.
Okay. So Riggs comes out of the water, and it's old Riggs.
Oh yeah,
It's angry Riggs.
the lethal weapon
It's
has
Hulk
been
Riggs,
unleashed. Has been unleashed.
and he murders everybody in sight.
I love when he ties his pickup truck to that stilt house.
Yeah.
And pulls that sumbitch down. So that's the other part where they had the slow motion it was really weird when the house comes down. So I knew there was another part I couldn't remember.
Oh, I have it in my notes though when Riggs escapes and starts killing everyone. When you take a shot at a man with rage issues, don't miss. They took a shot at the king and they missed.
I like he says when he's talking to Murtaugh,
I'm not a cop.
I'm not a cop tonight. I'm going to get him and I'm going to fuck him.
I'm gonna get him. I'm gonna fuck him, Roger. But what does Roger do? Riggs hangs up. He's fuck. You can't talk him down from this. Murtaugh leaves his badge at his desk.
Yeah.
Riggs is not a cop tonight. Murtaugh is not a cop tonight. Brothers, man.
They're in
Brothers
it together.
to the bone.
Yep.
Yep. So they rip the stilt house down. They find out that the South Africans are loading up all their drugs and their money onto one big shipment on a ship. They're gonna go. Riggs and Murtaugh intercept, kill a bunch of people, get trapped in a shipping container, escape a shipping container, kill a bunch of more people. We get the martial arts fight that Riggs has to have with the secondary bad guy.
Yeah. Takes that knife to the leg, so it kind of...
Hear me out, though. I think, so far we've seen Riggs fight Mr. Joshua, and now we're watching him fight Vorsted.
Yes. Who?
Vorsted!
Thank you.
Vorsted, I believe, is the weakest fighter of those three men, those three characters. One-on-one, without the knife, like in the leg, Riggs would have mopped his ass.
That's why he had the knife in the leg.
One-on-one, without a knife in his leg, Mr. Joshua would have mopped his ass. Because Riggs and Joshua, fair fight, you want a shot at the title. That's the line. You want a shot at the title? And they fucking go. And it's even.
Yeah.
And Riggs pulls it out. The Riggs-Vorsted fight isn't even. Riggs takes a knife to the calf, and then Vorsted gets a few hits on him, like kicks, and is dancing around being a douche about it. And then Riggs catches his leg and pulls him down and beats the piss out of him.
Yeah.
And that's it. Vorsted's got nothing.
Yeah, he was going to end up shoot him, and then he drops that.
I didn't know how I felt about that. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, it was a little...
And there was another instance of that slow-mo.
That's true, yeah.
It just, I would have rather just seen Riggs murder him with his bare hands.
Yeah, me too.
Than this, how did Riggs know that's what that button did?
Yeah, and why would he just leave himself wide open like that? And
just to hit a button that he didn't know what it would do.
Yeah.
And then it just so happened to release the only shipping container directly above where they were. There just so happened to be a shipping container.
Yeah.
But then also leading up, Riggs has got Vorstead down. He's beating the bejesus out of him. He's about to kill him. But then, like, he just kind of, like, yells in frustration, like he can't do it or decides he's not gonna do it. It's almost like a character building moment where he realizes maybe I don't have to be a murder machine. And you're like, okay, something. Oh no, he just Looney Tunes dropped an anvil on him.
Yes. I never
For
thought of it that way,
reasons.
but you're completely right.
So that's a little too corny for me. I don't love that. Like, he beats Mr. Joshua and leaves him alive so they can arrest him.
Right.
Then
that's because they're still technically cops. Yeah, but even
Joshua pulls a gun, and then Riggs and Murtaugh both pull guns and end him.
Right.
I like that. That works. He's not a cop tonight. Riggs isn't. He's killed a bunch of people up to this point. He's now got his hands on the guy that tried to murder him, that murdered his girlfriend, that murdered his wife, that sent him on that original downward spiral he was in the original. He lets him live? Or seemingly? Like, no. He would just don't even break his neck. Just slowly choke the life out of him.
Yeah.
But that's probably too dark. So then just do your fight another way where Riggs kind of has to end it. Like, there's already a knife in play. Maybe Vorsted's, the knife gets ripped out of his leg and Vorsted's going for that downward stab and Riggs is fighting it, kind of a thing. And then maybe Riggs gets the knife away from him and sticks it in him, something real quick. So it's not like, oh my God, this death took like 4 minutes and it was way too personal. And now I'm confused about how I feel about Martin Riggs. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to overdo it, but just Riggs should have just killed him outright instead of the container spot. Yeah. That didn't work for me.
Very Wile E. Coyote.
Yeah.
I never thought of it that way.
Bugs went, hey, beep. And then Daffy got crushed with an anvil. Like, up yours, Elmer Fudd. That's Elmer Fudd, Arjun Rudd. Wait.
They look alike.
A little bit.
Yeah.
So Riggs kills Forsted. To which then he gets lit up with gunfire. And there's Arjun Rudd with his German Mauser pistol.
Yeah, because he even shoots at Murtaugh too.
Yeah.
And misses.
But he's out of ammo, his gun's jammed, whatever. So that's when he pulls up diplomatic immunity. You know who I am now. Can't touch me.
Does that
just
neck?
Murtaugh does that thing where he gets ready for that one really accurate shot he does.
Yes.
Stretches the neck out, takes aim, bam. Diplomatic immunity. Just been revoked. That is in the pantheon of action hero one-liners.
That's a good one.
That is an all-time great one. That is in the pantheon of action movie one-liners. No ifs, ands, or buts. It might even be the greatest. Just been revoked. And you're like, oh yeah! Boom, headshot. See ya, Arjun. Done.
And then you have Riggs laying on the ground.
And the music changes.
And the music playing Knocking on Heaven's Door.
That was unnecessary.
Oh, I like that.
I like Knocking on Heaven's Door. It just felt, again, it felt a little cornball-y.
Okay. In the original script, Shane Black was going to have Riggs die.
Yeah.
But
then they went, but we can make so much more money with sequels.
Yes. But over the credits of him dying, the shot is the same with that helicopter shot where it rises up and Murtaugh's holding him. It was supposed to be that Knocking on Heaven's Door playing. Then I think they did like test audiences. Test audiences hated it. They didn't want him to die, so they changed it, but they kept everything the same.
Well, it was cheaper than reshoots.
Yeah. But so that's why you have that cheer down song playing on the end credits. But they kept that knocking on heaven's door as Murtaugh is coming down the stairs or the ladder to check on his buddy, to kind of give you that hint of maybe he died.
Yeah, or is dying.
Yeah. And I'm telling you, I've seen this movie 50 times probably.
Yeah.
Watching it again for the show, just thinking like, okay, maybe he died. I was like, oh shit. He died.
Despite there's a third sequel
Yeah.
to this movie coming out
Yeah.
soon at the time of this
I
recording.
was like, man, I like that idea of him dying.
To just end it.
Just end it. It kind of, with the extremely happy, cheery beginning Looney Tunes music playing, to I didn't expect the main character to fucking die.
Yeah.
Man, I think that would have been effective as hell.
Oh yeah. And it would have saved us from 3 and 4.
And knowing what we have after that, then yeah. Kill him off.
Should Riggs have died? I could go either way. I'm not gonna lie. I could see it both ways.
I don't like him dying just by getting shot by Rudd. I like the idea that Shane Black had originally was, and I can't remember the exact details of how it happened, but it was supposed to be Riggs sacrificing himself for Murtaugh and Murtaugh's family.
Oh.
So like Murtaugh's family basically saved him.
Yeah.
So now they're in peril. It's his time to repay that favor.
Yeah.
And I really like that idea of it.
And even if you didn't want to bring the family back into it, just
Roger.
the saving Roger, that still works.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Yeah, I like that a lot.
The only other idea, if I'm just brainstorming here, if I wanted to kill off Riggs and I wanted it to be effective, but also in a way that wasn't like necessarily abrupt, where like, what the hell? Where'd this come from? I would build up to it. And so the audience, in the way I'm thinking it, it would build up audience anticipation for him to die. But it would also build up so much anticipation that you'd be like, no, they're not going to do that. They're not going to kill Riggs. And then when he does die, because you're like expecting it, and then you're going to be like, they wouldn't do that though. So now you're arguing with the anticipation, and then it happens, and it's almost more effective that way than just surprise.
Yeah.
He's fucking dead. He dislocates his shoulder, gets out of the water. Either what led him getting dumped in, or in his initial fight after, he sustains injury. He doesn't stop. They go. They rip the stilt house down. He sustains a little injury. He keeps going. They are at the boat, and you just build it. And to eventually it gets to the point where he can't go anymore. And maybe it's even after the fight with Vorstead. He's got the knife, give him a few more wounds. It is now finally built up enough. He can't keep going. Maybe that's when Murtaugh comes down to get him. Has got him, hoisted up, come on, let's get the fuck out of here. Maybe Riggs sees Rudd up on that little landing he's standing on with a gun, and maybe does a real quick spin move, so now his back is to Rudd, and he's facing Murtaugh, but he blocks those incoming bullets himself. And that's the last straw. He can't, it's too much, and he's finally done. Murtaugh finishes Rudd, and then we just see Riggs. The toll has been taken, and he's got no fight left.
Yeah, I like that.
And then that also, again, builds up that anticipation of, holy shit, are they going to kill Martin Riggs off? Are they going to kill Mel Gibson's character? No, they wouldn't do that. And your audience would then, because all the buildup is doing, it's not to sell that Martin Riggs is some kind of indestructible badass. It's to play with your audience's emotions through their expectations. So you play with their anticipation of, he's going to live, he's going to die. No, he's going to live. oh no, he's gonna die. No, he's gonna live, I think. And then boom, he finally fucking dies.
Yeah. Oh yeah, there's been plenty of movies that I watched where I'm like, they never kill any of these. Oh, son of a bitch, he's dead. You know.
Sometimes the surprise is so sudden, it loses its impact.
Yeah.
When William Wallace is tortured.
Yes. Yeah, exactly.
And then dies. When Commodus is beat to shit and then stabbed. And then forced to fight. And we're just along for that roller coaster. That is more effective than leave Braveheart to the side. Let's go with a different movie. Let's go Gladiator. Maximus's death is so hard hitting because we know there's no way for him and subsequently no way for us to avoid it. We don't want Maximus to die. We like Maximus. He's a good guy. He's cool. We have empathy for him. We are rooting for him. But now we're watching him very slowly die. And that is harder for us as the audience. That elicits more emotion from us, the audience, than he's full health, Commodus is full health, they fight, and then at the end, they both stab each other simultaneously.
Yeah.
Right?
Lame.
But like Commodus gets him in the gut so it doesn't kill him right away while Commodus gets the throat stab and he gets to hold Commodus as he dies, but then they both fucking die. Like in each other's arms. And it's like, wait, he fucking died. Wait, why did he die? You know, that suddenness can be too jarring because it's a movie. The whole point of a movie is to elicit emotion. Sometimes you got to drag that shit out. And sometimes you got to painfully drag it out. Unless it's Avatar. Don't drag out your whole movie, James Cameron, you piece of crap. Drag out moments.
I wonder if he was going to get a James Cameron dig.
Always. Oh, but no, if you were going to kill off Riggs just brainstorming, that's an idea I've got. Make it meaningful. Drag it out. But what do I know?
Are we there?
I think we're there.
Okay.
All right. Ratings time. IMDb 7.3.
Oh.
The active recoil.
I don't like the taste of that.
Okay. Rotten Tomatoes 82%.
I don't think I like that either.
Still off.
Yeah.
I'm like 87.
91.
You think 90s?
Yeah.
Okay. I was going mid to high 80s. You think, okay, so now let's take a pen out of 3 writers, 3 writer curse.
It's broken.
Or is this movie the exception that proves the rule? I'm not going to say the curse is broken.
Well, the only reason I say it's broken is, and honestly, they gave Shane Black a lot more writing credit than what was really left of his script.
Sure.
So they still gave him credit for it, but a lot of his script was thrown away.
Yeah. Okay, that's fair.
Because apparently there was even supposed to be a scene where a cargo plane rather, full of cocaine explodes over LA and it was supposed to snow cocaine. Yeah, and they're like, yeah, we're not doing this.
That's one of those scenes that you can write into a book because it adds something. When you write it into a movie, everyone just goes, that scene is going to cost $30 million.
Yeah, and it's kind of dumb.
A little bit.
I know he loves Christmas and all, but Jesus.
It's goddamn Christmas. Okay. Reviews. Ebert. I'm going to give you the blurb or the excerpt first.
Okay. And then after you read this, I have something to tell you about Ebert that I watched for this pod.
Does it involve the star rating?
No.
Okay, because I'm saving that for now. This doesn't seem like a sequel, but like a movie in which new discoveries are always possible. He talked a lot about how they did a lot with the characters and the story, so it didn't feel like a sequel. It felt like a fresh movie. The evolution of Riggs and Murtaugh's lives and their friendship and the connection with the family. And it's like, well, how do you get away with them being able to act that in a different way? Well, that's why we got Leo. Ebert was a big fan of Leo's character, of the character of Leo, because he was essentially the punchline to emphasize Riggs and Murtaugh's relationship, how it has evolved up to this point. He was a big fan.
Okay.
Go ahead and what were you gonna say?
I watched on YouTube. I found the At the Movies
Yeah.
review that he did for this particular movie, and he liked it, but he said something during it that really kind of annoyed me.
What? You got annoyed by something Ebert said?
He said something to the effect that, like, oh, we're Lethal Weapon 2. It's the big summer blockbuster with lots of action, lots of car chases. And he's like, normally this type of action bores me, but I really enjoyed this. I'm like, you pretentious little shit. Action bores me. I'd rather watch people sit around the table and talking. Like, shut up.
Okay.
But it was so weird watching because it was like the standard definition of
Yeah.
an At the Movies TV show. I was like, God damn, you can't see shit.
Is there a person up
What
there?
the hell am I watching?
Had the cable lines.
Yeah, it was awful.
Okay. You asked, is Lethal Weapon 2 Mel Gibson's best movie? This marks Mel Gibson's 4th movie on the pod, tying Tony Burton
Oh,
for most appearances.
okay.
I went back through my notes, and wrote down the star ratings Ebert gave the other 3.
Okay.
So we're going to play a little guessing game.
All right.
Do
I like
you
guessing
remember
games.
what Braveheart got?
Well, Braveheart was a good movie,
Nope.
fantastic movie.
Thank you.
Phenomenal movie. So Ebert probably gave it -3 stars. I'll say 3 stars.
It did get 3 stars.
Okay.
You are correct. The Patriot.
Oh, I don't remember this one, but he probably loved it too because
You're the only one that doesn't.
3 stars?
3 stars. You are correct.
Shit movie.
Lethal Weapon 1.
2 stars?
Is that your final answer?
No, I'm going to say 3 stars.
We're at 3 and 3.
3 stars.
4 stars.
What? Okay.
Lethal Weapon 2.
4 stars.
3.5.
How? How?
3.5 stars. How do I put this?
How is he so wrong?
Are you saying it should be 3 or 4?
4.
Are you trying to tell me to my face right now Lethal Weapon 1 and 2 are better than Braveheart? Or should Braveheart also just be a 4?
Braveheart should definitely be a 4. But Lethal Weapon 1 should be a 3.
He gave it 4.
That's what I'm saying. Like, what the hell? He's so inconsistent. Like, what was the movie he gave 3.5 stars based on what it could have been? Like,
Was it Waterworld?
maybe, or
I can't remember.
I don't know. He's so inconsistent. I'm sorry, he was so inconsistent.
Oh, True Romance is kind of in that boat. Oh yeah, Waterworld. It could have been more. Have been better, and it could have made me care about the characters. 2.5.
2.5. Okay.
But this being said, 3, 3, 4, 3.5.
Yeah, there's no way in hell the Patriots should be at 3 stars.
Yes, it should.
No. So it should be 4, 4, 3, 0.
Shut up. Shut up. Although I do think this makes Mel our highest overall Ebert starred actor.
Probably, yeah.
Okay. New York Times. If you liked Lethal Weapon, you'll like Lethal Weapon 2. It's almost as simple as that.
That's the dumbest fucking review I've ever heard.
They had a lot of
If you like the first one, you'll like the second one.
they had a lot to
Done.
say about this movie. Much of it bad. Not the biggest fan of this. New York Times wasn't. I mean, they liked it well enough, but that's where just look. The audience for this movie is the audience for this movie. If you liked the first one, you will like the second one. If you didn't like the first one, don't watch the second one. It's as simple as that.
That goes with anything. Like, I didn't like Fast and Furious. I'm sure as shit not going to watch Fast 2
X.
or Too Fast, Too Furious or Too Many Shits. I don't give a fuck.
The fate of the Furious, or the family of the Deuce, or the Crustless Wonder, or the
the Uncrustable Crust Remover.
You can't eat an Uncrustable without the crust.
That review makes no sense. That's the laziest review I've ever heard.
Well, I don't know if that's as much of the review's fault or the fact that, I'm not going to sit and read a 5-page review on
well,
air.
I don't know. You haven't heard my review of this, so it might be. This might be the laziest review I've ever heard.
All right, final thoughts?
Go ahead.
I like this movie. Always have, always will. How do I put this? This movie does not fully suffer the curse of 3 writers. But the curse is still present, in my opinion. There's some cornballiness to it. I remember you, Tevis, you in particular, giving the original a lot of shit for conveniences that you didn't or haven't yet at this point in time given Lethal Weapon 2 the same kind of shit. But honestly, I think the conveniences in 2 are worse than 1. The writing in 2 is not as good as 1. The writing in 2 is not bad. But if you compare the scripts, the 3 writers got in the way, I think, a little bit.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
I would not have given Lethal Weapon 2 3.5 stars. 3 probably. Because it is a good movie and it's fun. It's not as good as the first one. And before watching it for the show, I would have said the second was my favorite. We've even joked we joked in Demolition Man and Sarah and Sly about how what's-her-face, Sandra Bullock's character, has Lethal Weapon 3 poster, and we said it should have been 2.
Yes.
No, it should have been 1. 1's a better movie. But, I mean, okay, so criticism aside, got that out in the open, being fair, being honest. God, Mel Gibson is so great at everything. Danny Glover is good. His chemistry with Mel is off the charts. These guys could do anything together and I would watch it. And I mean anything.
I'm pulling up OnlyFans right now.
That's right. It's just... This movie is a lot simpler than the original. And honestly, it's easier to watch. To me, this is 100% summer blockbuster. Get the big popcorn, sit down with your partner, and just get ready for an enjoyable movie experience. You're not going to be moved or touched. You're not going to cry. You're just going to sit there and go, ho, ho, and laugh. And that's, yeah.
You're not going to cry? You're not going to cry?
No.
Okay.
If you're talking about Rika, I already stated that love story didn't matter. because 3 writers probably got in the way and took too much out of the love story for it to matter. We got like 3 scenes, 2 of them were them doing it. And maybe that just makes me jealous. I don't know. But that being said, Lethal Weapon 2 is great. It is worth the ticket price. Mel Gibson is always worth the ticket price, but Lethal Weapon 2 is 100% worth the ticket price. Watch the first. If you haven't watched either, watch the first one first. Watch the first one first. Watch the first one first, because doing so will allow you to appreciate what the second one does so well, and that is the evolving relationship between Riggs and Murtaugh. It will let you enjoy the buddy of this buddy cop film even more. So watch them both, worth the ticket price. Have a go, my friend.
Rika mattered to Riggs. Damn it.
Did she? He was just wetting his whistle.
Okay. Lethal Weapon 1 is a very different movie than Lethal Weapon 2. Lethal Weapon 1 is very serious and almost has downer moments like, oh my God, what am I watching right now? And Lethal Weapon 2 is just a good time until it's not. And it's just fun hanging out with your buddies
until it's
not. Lethal Weapon 2 is one of those rare sequels that is better than the original.
Oh.
It is. It does so many things different that it's a perfect sequel to the original Lethal Weapon movie, where you get so many sequels where it's, oh, hey, we're just going to do the exact same thing, only slightly different. All the beats are exactly the same. It's just they're fighting a different bad guy or whatever. This is not so much a sequel. It's more of like a continuation of a story. If it was a book, it would have been, they had so much to tell in this one book, they had to split it up into a part 1 and part 2. Just by the way the characters evolve and grow and change from one movie to the other. Riggs and Murtaugh, man, are they the best buddy cop duo in the history of movies?
Yes.
And
yes.
Does this movie just amplify that even more?
Absolutely, yes.
Their chemistry is so good.
Now, I will say, if I may, Will Smith and Martin Lawrence in the Bad Boys movies, from what I've seen, are probably the closest second place.
Yeah,
I love their chemistry, but they're not Riggs and Murtaugh.
No, this movie has the villains are phenomenal. The action is nail biting and great. Solid comedy. There was very few moments where I wasn't laughing at what I was supposed to be laughing at. Some of these movies, and later on even in this series, it gets to be a little overly jokey, a little over the top, but none of that happens here. The jokes are pretty spot on, even now, still watching it for this show. I was thinking back on sequels, specifically the number 2 films, of which ones would be on a Mount Rushmore.
Empire.
Have Empire, like Dark Knight, Aliens, Terminator 2, Captain America Winter Soldier.
Oh, yeah.
X-Men 2.
Compared to the first one, yeah.
Top Gun Maverick.
Maverick, I will give you. X-Men, I honestly, 2 is better than 1, yes. But Mount Rushmore, it's not. It by itself isn't even a good enough movie to be on the Mount
I was just like naming them off.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Which ones could possibly be on there? And Lethal Weapon 2 would be in the conversation.
Oh, absolutely.
It is a fantastic movie, fantastic sequel. It's great just to be hanging out with these guys. It's worth the ticket price. 1,000%. Check it out.
All right, everyone. Thank you all for listening. That was Lethal Weapon 2. Where's the hat? Where's the hat?
I got it.
Near, did you leave it near the cement?
No, it's cement.
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 Seaman. So dumb. Whose turn?
My turn.
All right.
I got it.
He's looking in the hat.
I got it.
He's looking in the hat. He's looking in the hat. Why do you take away everything I enjoy?
That is my role here.
You're not my mom or my wife.
All right. Do you want a hint?
Your hints are the worst.
You want to know what it is? The movie?
Why'd you say it that way?
You want to know what movie it is?
Why are you saying it is?
Because I pulled a movie out of the hat, and I'm going to give you a hint at what it is. It's a movie that we are going to be watching.
Your hints are the worst.
For the show. I think it's from 2017.
Are we watching It? It Lives?
No, we're watching It.
It! Oh!
See, it's a movie.
Seaman. It!
I just want you to know that was the greatest hint in the history of hint.
I think there's some debate on that.
Not here.
In the comments.
Not here.
We got a
No,
Q&A.
we're watching 2017's It.
It. Chapter 1.
Yes.
Okay. You know, it's been a hot minute since I've watched this. It'd be nice to go back and revisit.
We'll see.
Or will it?
We'll see.
Wait. Why? What if? Hear me out. Let's do something radical. Let's do the TV miniseries.
No.
Tim Curry, John Ritter.
No.
Super young Seth Green.
Annette O'Toole.
Oh. Seth Green plays Child Richie from Night Court. Judge Harry whatever. He plays adult Richie. What's his name?
Harry Anderson.
Harry Anderson.
Yeah. Why do I still know that?
Why do you? Although hot Night Court reference, by the way, everybody.
I almost said John Larroquette, but I was like, no, that's the wrong.
He was the lawyer. I said the judge.
Yeah.
Man, what is John Larroquette up to?
Really narrating the next Texas Chainsaw Massacre intro.
Is that what he did?
He did the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre intro.
Oh, I had no idea.
Yeah. He got paid in marijuana.
What?
That's the article I read. Yeah, he got paid in marijuana to do that.
What?
I don't know. And I don't even know why I came across this article. It was just weird. I have no idea.
Well, now I have to look more into that. Although it was made in the 70s, wasn't it?
It was in that article in High Times magazine on the back of my toilet. So I don't know why I just came across that magazine.
All right. It. Okay. Yeah. Looking forward to it. We're going to do it.
No, we're going to watch it.
We're going to do it.
We're going to
watching it.
We're going to watch it in the mirror as we what?
In the mirror?
I don't know.
What? What are you talking about?
I don't know.
You like to do it in front of mirrors?
I get paid in marijuana. Okay? Leave me alone.
You're getting paid?
I mean, I found some.
In the community vegetable garden.
Yeah.
Totally carrots.
That's what they told me. Says it was broccoli.
Shut up. All right, everyone. Thank you.
Who smokes broccoli? I don't know what the fuck.
You're so lame. Shut your lame ass up. I'm trying to do an outro. Okay, everyone. Thank you. Shut up. Shut up. Thank you all so much for listening. I'm Jake. Our marijuana broccoli eater is Tevis. We are Ticket Price. This was Lethal Weapon 2. Worth the ticket price. Unanimous decision. Check it out. And the original. And then tune in for next week as we dive into Stephen King's It. As always, be good to yourselves, be good to each other, and good night. We're going to do it.
I want an Uncrustable for some reason.